Hey there guys, Alex here. I'm back today at long last to finally post a video on YouTube. And I think this might have been the longest time I've ever been away from making videos. I haven't made a video I haven't made a proper video in maybe 4 months. It's been an incredible amount of time, and it's kind of occurred to me recently that I've really missed making these videos. I really used to enjoy doing them. And yeah, it's just it didn't really come, that inspiration to start making videos again didn't really come at a very good time, logistically, because maybe these last 3 or 4 weeks, maybe going back 5 or 6 weeks, have been, I'd say, probably the most stressful of my life, and I'm not even exaggerating. It's just been non-stop assignments, and I've just had so many things to do. It's just really stressed me out, bogged me down, and it's just it's been tough to fit in anything else around university, and it wasn't really like that in year one. The first year is all about kind of getting people up to scratch, making sure they can do basic things, and then the second year is far more advanced, far more developmental, and you're starting to really tailor your interests and start working on some really big assignments and stuff. So it's been good in a way. I've really enjoyed the challenge of it, but at the same time, I'm not a very good time manager, and I guess if I'd managed my time more efficiently, I might have been able to make videos over these last couple of months. But that's not me, and I'm still feeling like I want to get back into making YouTube videos because I really miss doing it. So I'm thinking, over the next few weeks or so, now that I've got Christmas holidays coming up. In fact, today was my last day of uni. I've handed in all my assignments, so I thought today was a good day to, kind of get back on the bandwagon and, get back involved in the VC and start making some videos. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to plan out what I'm going to do, but I'm hoping to have some things lined up over the Christmas holidays. I know I always say that, but I'm hoping that this time I will actually, get some done. But I thought I'd kick it off today with just a standard vinyl update, considering it's been 4 or 5 months since my last one. And I'm going to be quite honest here and come out and say I have only bought about 5 or 6 records in 3 or 4 months. That has been the extent of my vinyl purchasing. It's been really depressing not being able to buy more vinyl. There's been just so many things. I can't even count how many things I've seen, which if I had the money I would have snapped up immediately. And I just haven't been able to buy them, and I've been really limited in what I've been able to pick up. So, yeah, the result of that is that I only have about 6 records to show you today, but I'm really happy about most of them. I mean, they're not really that exciting, some of them, but I'm happy with what I've got. I'm happy that I'm still gradually expanding my collection, and I really hope that, once I get some money together, hopefully next summer I'll be getting a full-time job and I can set some money aside to buy more vinyl. I think I'm going to struggle before then with, living here, paying the rent, paying bills, and everything. And by the way, this is my uni house, my uni room, should I say. And I got my vinyl hooked up over here, which is awesome. Listening to some, you can probably hear Marvin Gaye, what's going on right now. Sometimes there's nothing better than a bit of Marvin Gaye, especially on a day like today, when I've finished a very long, stressful semester. Marvin Gaye is great music to just wind down to. And yeah, this is my uni room, and I've spent 3 or 4 months here now, and I'm actually living with my girlfriend. She moved in with us a couple of weeks ago, which has been awesome. But again, it's kind of taken time away that I could have, been making videos, but I've really enjoyed it. And, apart from the, ton of work that I've had to do, the semester's been pretty fun. And, I'm looking forward to the Christmas holidays and beyond that. So, yeah, anyway, I'll stop rambling. I'll get into showing you these finds. As I say, I've only got about 5 or 6, but hopefully there's stuff that will be of interest here. for some of you guys. And shall I also say that, it's been great to see, people posting regular videos in the vinyl community. I've been trying to watch as many videos as I can, kind of fitting it around things. Been watching Adam Nichols' videos, and a couple of the finds that I'm going to be showing today have kind of been influenced by what he's shown and what he's talked about. And, all the regulars, Derek, Tony, Nathan, all those, kind of VC veterans, I guess, that have been there since, 2011, have been posting great stuff as well. So thanks to people for just keeping going and, not giving up on the VC, like I guess I have to some extent, but I'm hoping to get back into it. So yeah, so thanks for people that have been posting things and recommending records. It's always great to see. So yeah, getting into these finds, starting off here actually with one I bought today. I popped into a secondhand charity shop, and I'll say that, Oxford isn't the best place in the world for secondhand vinyl, I find. They have a record store called Truck, which is great. They have secondhand stuff in there, but it tends to be a bit pricey. You'll pay kind of, the minimum you'll pay for a secondhand record, if it's any good, is going to be kind of between £5 and £10. And, some of the more sought after stuff is maybe £20 to £40. And, it's great, but, sometimes I just want to go and, get a couple of records for, say, a £5. And there isn't really anywhere I can do that in Oxford, especially as the charity shops. They don't really have the stuff that I'm looking for often, and they tend to have a lot of 80s records, a lot of classical stuff. So I have to look quite hard to find secondhand vinyl, but I have actually found some pretty decent secondhand stuff recently. So starting off here with something I found today in Oxfam, and I thought this was a bargain, I have to say. It was $2.99. And I've been looking for a copy of this for a long time. I picked up Genesis Selling England by the Pound, one of their most acclaimed records from the early 70s. I can't put a precise year on it. I'm not the biggest Genesis fan, as you can probably tell now, because this is one of their most famous records and I don't even know the year. But yeah, Adam Nichols did a video on his whole Genesis and solo Genesis records, which I thought was really, really well done, really well put together. So go and check that out. But this is Selling England by the Pound from, I think, 72, 73, that kind of time. It's definitely before The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, which is perhaps their most famous, their most critically acclaimed record. But I can't wait to hear this on vinyl. Considering it was $2.99, I don't think it's a early pressing. I think it's a Charisma. It's on the Charisma label, which I seriously don't know if that's an early pressing or not. But it's a really nice copy. No scratches on here. I haven't had a chance to play it yet because I've only been back a few hours, but can't wait to play this through. I've heard it digitally and, really enjoy Genesis. When I'm in the right mood for Genesis, I find there's nothing really better. They're such a technically good band, and they're so kind of out of the box. Some of their records are that it's just great when you're in the mood. But there's not really that many times where I am in the mood for Genesis. They're not really one of the bands I would go to just for a quick fix, I guess. But it's great to have a copy of this, and yeah, I'll definitely be looking out for some of their other records. I really, really want a copy of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway and a couple of the earlier ones before this. The ones, is it Foxtrot? And I've got a couple of the later ones from the 80s, but they're not really anything compared to the early stuff with Peter Gabriel. But yeah, can't wait to put this on. I'm going to play this after I've wrapped up the video. But that's the first one. Second of all, another second-hand find. Found this a few weeks ago, and again, something I've been looking for. Haven't really been looking for it, but I've wanted a copy of this, and finally managed to find one. again for a pretty good price. It was at one of the we have like a market here on Cowley Road, which is one of the main roads in Oxford. They have a pretty big market with a guy that sells quite a lot of vinyl. He has kind of 6 or 7 crates full of vinyl, and it's mostly very good stuff, which I find is nice. You don't have to kind of trawl through loads of crap records to find something good. He's normally got a pretty good selection. But I found a copy of Planet Waves, obviously by Bob Dylan, which I'm very happy about. One of his, least talked about records. His only album, wait, no, one of only 2 albums he released on Asylum Records during a very, very weird time in his career. 1973, 1974, he released Dylan in 73, which was kind of a very odd miscellaneous collection of tracks, kind of New Morning outtakes, random cover songs, and I think he just put it out. There's a rumor anyway that he just put it out to piss off Columbia, who had restricted him from releasing some stuff or something. And then he put out Planet Waves in 1974, which I actually really like this record. It's obviously a prelude to Blood on the Tracks, which is obviously a masterpiece and one of his absolute greatest albums. So it's kind of overshone by that, I guess. But I really enjoy it, and I managed to get a good copy. Definitely feels like an early pressing. Again, I'm not very proficient in telling my pressings, but it's on Island, so I imagine this isn't one of the earliest pressings because it's not on Asylum. But got some really good tracks on here. I like Wedding Song, which I think is the last song on the album. Forever Young, which is a famous one of his. On a Night Like This, Going, Going, Gone, Tough Mama, Hazel. Great selection of tracks on here. I think it's very, very underrated, this record. I'd say if you're into this kind of period in Dylan's career, then you can't really go wrong if you see a copy of this, picking it up. And can't get the record back in, but yeah, Planet Waves, 1974, good stuff. I'm not sure if this image here is one that Dylan drew himself, but yeah, I like the cover on that one as well. So those are the first 2. Next I have a couple of records which I picked up, again secondhand. This was actually in the truck store, which I was kind of playing down because of its prices. But these were actually a really good price. I think these were £3 each, and I managed to bag a copy of Fragile by Yes, which is, I think, their first or second album from 1971, 1972, maybe, that kind of time. Again, like Genesis, I'm not really big on the whole history behind Yes. I haven't really heard much of their stuff, so this is really a good introduction to them. And yeah, I think I've read a couple of reviews from the time of this record, and I think in general it was well received. Maybe not as much as the next record I'm going to show, but I thought, £3, nice copy. It's got a booklet in there and a gatefold, and show you the label. This one is on Atlantic, and 1971. I can read now that this was released. So yeah, really happy to have a copy of Fragile. Really love the artwork that Yes put together around this time in their career. I'm not sure who did this artwork, whether it was the band or a friend of the band's or somebody, but really like the style of artwork that they were putting together at this time. And I played it through a couple of times and enjoyed it quite a bit, but not as much as this next record, which again is from Yes, and this, I believe, was the album they released after Fragile in, I think, 1972 or 1973. Picked up Closer to the Edge, and again in the same store, £3. I thought I might as well pick up the combo. And again, you get a gatefold with just one record. Very, very nice artwork there on the inside. And again, I think this is on Atlantic. I think these came as a pair. So you've got, what have you got in here? That looks like the original sleeve, which I didn't actually know was in there, so that's pretty cool. With the lyrics on the paper there. I don't know what's happened to my record player. I'm just going to turn it off. Sorry about that. But yeah, Close to the Edge, as I say, I think is 1972, so a year after Fragile. And again, I think this is on the same label. Not too sure if it's a first or early pressing, but very, very happy with how these two play on my record player when it actually works. Yeah, it plays really well, and yeah, just a really big fan of these two records. I didn't really know how much I would like Yes until hearing these two, because it was my first ever exposure to them. But definitely worth a pickup for £3 each. Anyway, moving on to the penultimate record, I've got a album here from actually one of the members of Genesis, one of the original members. And again, this is from Adam Nichols' recommendation. He said that I should check out, well, in fact, he made a video where he reviewed this album and another album from this artist. And I was intrigued and I wanted to find out more, so I saw a copy of this secondhand. I think it was in the truck store again. I think I might have had to pay £5 or £6 for this one though. But I think it's worth it. And what I picked up was Steve Hackett's Please Don't Touch from, again, I'm not very good with dates, I apologise for this, 1978, so kind of after the kind of biggest albums from Genesis had been released, and I believe he was still in Genesis, or maybe this was the first record he'd released after Genesis, his first solo album, or it might be his second album. I think there was a record he released before this, which was his first solo record, and then he left Genesis and then released this. But this is great stuff. I really enjoyed this. Again, my first exposure to any of Steve Hackett's solo work. Obviously, I'd heard him on Genesis before. But great stuff. I really, really enjoyed this. It's got a really unusual feel to it. You know, the songs don't really flow in any cohesive way. But the way he kind of constructs them and orchestrates them is really interesting to hear. He's got some kind of more experimental, trippy stuff on there. Then he's got some kind of more upbeat, melodical things, and then some kind of feel-good, more relaxed stuff as well. So I think he really gets the balance right, I guess, with variety on this. But yeah, Steve Hackett's Please Don't Touch. Thank you, Adam, for recommending this. And only thing that was annoying about it was it had a corner cut out the top. As you can see there, I think the corner must have just got ripped off or something, and he's cut it, the guy that had this before me. But, you know, the vinyl plays well, so I'm not really that bothered. But very happy to get this one. Slowly building up my Genesis and solo Genesis collection, which is nice, because it was severely lacking before. And finally, the final record which I wanted to show today is and the only new record I have to show, the only new record I've picked up in, you know, a good number of months. And this one I saw was very cheap on Amazon, and I'd been a big fan of this guy's last record, so I thought, you know, I'll pick up this one completely on a whim, hoping that I'd like it, and I was pleasantly surprised. I don't think it's quite as good as his first record, but nonetheless, I still enjoyed it. What I have is Washed Out, Paracosm. I think it's called Paracosm. Yeah, Paracosm. From this year. He released this. Washed Out is a electronic producer and kind of a founder, pioneer of the genre chillwave, which is a kind of new genre to come about over the last few years. In fact, I think he was the first person to make what was considered a chill wave album with a new what's it called? Something Without You. I can't remember the exact title. But yeah, that was released, I think, 2011 or 2012, and it was kind of the start of a new genre called chill wave. Many people considered it to be, kind of a landmark record for electronic music. And this year he put out his second album, which is, I think it's called Paracosm. Sorry, it doesn't have the title on there. And in fact, it doesn't even have the title on the labels, so forgive me for that. But yeah, I believe this is called Paracosm. Doesn't say it on there either. God. But yeah, really, really enjoyed this. The first side is far superior, I find, to the second side. The first two tracks are mind-blowingly beautiful and melodic and well constructed. Then it kind of fades off a tiny bit and gets better in the middle. And then I find the second half can kind of pass you by without you really realizing what's happening. It's one of those kind of records which flows and doesn't really go anywhere specific, but nonetheless, I mean, I still would recommend this to fans of chillwave, if you know what that genre is, and that kind of chilled out, easy listening, electronic vibe. If you're into that kind of stuff, then give Washed Out a try. But definitely go back and listen to the album he released before this first, before checking out this one. But yeah, that was the final record which I have to show today. So not a tremendous amount, I apologise, but I have managed to go on here for 22 minutes, which is ridiculous. I'm back into my old ways immediately, just making videos that are far too long. I apologise. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching. I'll have hopefully plenty more up over Christmas. Hopefully start buying some more vinyl, but also I'll try and fit in some other things, top 10 albums of the year lists and stuff like that. And yeah, just hopefully, get back in touch with the vinyl community and, start posting things again, because I've really, really missed doing this. Also, check out my blog if you, if you have the time. I'll link it down in the description if you want to go and check that out. I haven't really put up much, but I have put out a few things whilst I haven't been making videos. So if you want to keep in touch, then go and check out my blog. I'm sure I'll be updating that more and more as well. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully see you soon.